I discovered the best build in all of NBA 2K24. A build that has never been seen before on YouTube. A build that's about to take over NBA 2K24 forever. It gets insane contact dunks, posterizing defenders whenever it wants to. It can pull from the parking lot, hitting insane threes with ease. It can dribble like the best guards in the game and even play defense like a complete lockdown. This build is about to be the new meta build on NBA 2K24. Subscribe if you guys are new, because about 92% of my viewers aren't subscribed, which first off, I think that's crazy. But I'm trying to hit 800,000 subscribers, so lock in and join the Solo Squad today. What's up, guys? It's Solo back with a review. Now today, I'm finally revealing the best all-around build in the game. Now, I know you guys have heard this a million times. You've probably heard it a few times on my channel and thousands of times by other YouTubers, but I really mean it when I say it. You guys can see all my different builds. I have a ton of different 99 overalls, and I've even deleted some 99 overall builds. I've tested out so many different builds, but the build I'm going to show you today is the one. If we're being honest, we don't know what the best build is going to be day one. We can try, you know what I'm saying? We're going to obviously put that in our title, best build, because that's what people want to see. That's what we think is the best build. But after playing the game for how many months has it been? I don't know, 9 months now. We know what stats matter more than others, and we know what heights, for example, are the best heights to go with. Like last year, 6'9" builds dominated. They nerfed those builds this year. So 6'9", that's not the optimal best height to go with for an all-around build anymore. Again, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, because we're on the road to 800,000 subscribers, and I put in a lot of work to create this build and perfect it. Real quick, I want to give a shout out to the sponsor of today's video, Underdog Fantasy. We have a very special offer for the NBA playoffs. If you sign up using my code SOLO on Underdog Fantasy, you will get this Jason Tatum half a point special. It's basically free money. Take advantage of this. And if you guys don't know how it works, it's so simple. First, you pick a sport, then you pick your players, then you pick whether they go higher or lower on their numbers for that day. The more picks you get right, the more money you make. And the cool thing about Underdog is you can mix and match different sports. They have pretty much every sport you could imagine, including like UFC and golf, alongside, of course, you know, NFL, MLB, and NBA, the ones that are on my screen right now. But I mean it when I say it. This is the best time to get on, especially if you're a basketball fan, because we're in the conference finals. The season is about to end next month, and we're not going to have basketball until October. That's why I'm trying to put y'all on. Take advantage of this Tatum half a point special. My code will also give you up to $250 in bonus credit. Remember, you have to use code SOLO and be sure to play responsibly. But without further ado, let's jump into it. And if you guys do have Rebirth, of course, yes, you are going to want to click yes on this so that you can start off with, you know, more upgrades and more badges. We're going to want to create our own, and for the hands in this is personal preference. I always go with righty, but if you always go lefty, then you can do that. Jersey number, this doesn't matter. That's personal preference as well. I say this in pretty much all my build videos. Position doesn't really matter. This just kind of changes, you know, where you line up if you're playing my career or if you're going to play rec or pro-am. It just kind of changes the position you line up at. But as far as the stats go, what changes the attributes on the right is actually your height, your weight, and your wingspan. So the best height for like an all-around type of build that, you know, is going to be able to dunk, shoot, dribble, and play defense is 6'6". Trust me, guys, I've made 6'7" builds. I've even posted them on YouTube. I've made 6'8". I've even tried to make 6'9", which you can't do a point guard, so I'd have to go to shooting guard. I've done the 6'5". I've done every build, trust me, and I've made like 3 to 4 different 6'6" and upgraded them. This one right here is the last 6'6" that I'm gonna make this year, because it literally has everything you could want in a build. But trust me, you're gonna want to go 6'6" for the height. Now for the weight, we are going to go 205. And for the wingspan, if you guys been watching my channel for a while, you know I love to play defense, and usually maxing out your wingspan is what you want to do. But you guys can see if we did that, our three-pointer could go to a max of an 83. That's pretty low, and again, we want to be able to do everything, so we're going to lower our wingspan until this goes to a 92 three-pointer, which will give us silver limitless range, which we're going to take that. And trust me, that is a very important badge, a very underrated one. I mean, people know limitless range is crazy, but a lot of people do try to up their wingspan and try to get away with a low three-point shooting build, and I've tried it. Trust me, I've tried it, and I think this is the way to go. So trust me, go 6'8" on the wingspan. I still get crazy stops. You guys will see the defensive upgrades. It's worth it. Okay, so now it's time to upgrade the build. This is the most important part of the build, and like I said in the intro, I took a while to perfect this build and make sure I get, you know, every single best badge I could get. You know, I tweaked it, lowering different attributes and all that. So if you guys are making this build, you definitely want to copy down exactly what I'm upgrading. Let's start off with our shooting, because as a 6'6" point guard, you guys know we're gonna have to be able to shoot. By the way, this build is gonna work on pretty much every single court, especially the 1v1 court. So if you guys like to play 1v1 theater or 1v1 stage or anything like that, this build's gonna go crazy. But even on the 2s, the 3s, the rec, every court, this shit goes crazy. So by maxing out our 3-pointer on this build, we get a ton of badges. You guys can see on the right, Silver Agent 3. We get Gold Blinders, which is huge. Gold Deadeye. Silver Limitless Range is huge. Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all about this real quick. You will see a lot of builds that are 6'6 or 6'7, and they go with like a 86.3 or maybe 87 for T-Mac, which only gives you Bronze Limitless Range. You guys can see all these badges just drop to Silver up here. Trust me, especially if you're gonna play stage, like you can hit if you have full stamina. It's a catch and shoot and stuff like that. But on this build, we're gonna be dribbling, and getting that 92.3 really, like, it helps crazy. I can't even stress that enough. You can ask any of the top players, going from an 86 or an 87 3-pointer up to all the way to a 92 is like astronomical, like how much it really helps. And I think on the last 6'6 build I made, I had an 86 3-pointer to get that Bronze Limitless Range, or actually 85 is for Limitless Range, but 86 is for Silver Agent 3. So I think I had an 86 though, and like it is a little tough to shoot. Obviously I'm gonna be able to hit some shots, probably shoot, you know, 55-60% from 3, but with a 92 I shoot like 70% from 3. Next up, let's upgrade our finishing, and this is one of the most important stats on the game for how I play. And if you guys don't play like this, you need to start playing like this, because I'm not gonna lie, driving dunk is overpowered in 2K24. The dunk meter's kind of broken. It is. So if you don't use it, you need to start using it. And even if you don't, driving dunk, you know, at a 94 gets, you know, crazy contact dunks even without the dunk meter. But I highly recommend you start using the dunk meter. And of course, we got to up our vertical if we are going to be, you know, maxing out our driver dunk. So we're going to go with an 82 vertical on this build. I think you could go with an 80. Some people do, but I go with 82. You guys can see all the badges. We get gold posterizer, Hall of Fame Slithery, gold precision dunker goes crazy, gold aerial wizard. You guys can see the rest. Like the dunking on this build, and matter of fact, I'll pop up some clips if I have any right now. I've pretty much mastered the dunk meter, and a lot of the top players have as well. All you need is an angle. Once you get the angle around your defender, if your defender's on your hip, if he's not between you and the basket, when you start the dunk meter, which is basically you just flick up and down really fast with the right stick, up, down. That's all you got to do to trigger the dunk meter. It's a contact dunk every single time if the defender is not between you and the rim. There's tutorials on it too if you guys, you know, need more help with the dunk meter. But trust me, like this shit is OP. I've made builds with a 90 driving dunk, 89 driving dunk, or even like an 84 driving dunk. It doesn't compare to this. I get crazy. Like I can't even stress it enough, bro. You just need a 94 driving dunk build if you don't have one, and you'll know what I'm talking about. Now, since we have a 94 driving dunk, by default, our standing dunk went up to a 39, which a lot of people would just leave it at this. But I've been saying this all year in pretty much all my build videos. If you're watching a YouTuber and they don't tell you to get at least a 40 standing dunk, they don't know what they're talking about. Because to unlock the basic standing dunk packages, you have to have a 40 standing dunk. So it's literally cheap too. It's a cheap, you know, basically free upgrade to get standing dunks on a build. You don't have to go higher than 40 or 45. Like 45 is for the two-handers, I think, and then 40 is for the one, or I don't know, it might be the other way around. Of course, standing dunks are a really good, you know, attribute to have if you want to go like 73, 83 or something in that range. But having a 39 standing dunk is troll when you unlock the dunk packages at a 40. So we're going to go with a 40 standing dunk on this build. And then to finish out the finishing, that is actually going to be it. That's going to be it for our finishing. Once again, you guys can see all the badges on the right side. As I go to layup, there they are right there. Giant Slayer gold. The crazy build, and I'm not even halfway done with it yet. So let's go to our playmaking. Let's upgrade our ball handle, because you guys know I'm a dribbler. I've dropped tons of dribble move videos, dribble tutorials, all of that. You guys know we gotta go crazy. If I'm making an all-around build, of course we gotta have some dribbling. So we're gonna go 86 ball handle. This allows you to get pretty much every single dribble move for these taller guard builds at 6'6". Of course, if you're under 6'5", you have the small guard dribble moves like Steve Francis, Kyrie Irving, stuff like that. But we can't get that, so there's no point of going higher than an 86 ball handle. Also, I do want to say there's a new trend kind of going around the 2K community. It's not really popular, so you guys probably haven't heard of it yet unless you're deep into the 2K community, where people are making builds with like no ball handle. Like that's like kind of a new trend that people are doing. And another new trend is a no speed with ball build. That's a very popular trend that's going around right now, because it doesn't matter too crazy. It really doesn't. Like that's kind of been a thing. It's been tested. Speed with ball doesn't matter, because off your first step, that's actually acceleration. Speed with ball actually comes into play like once you're like 2 or 3 dribbles and you're running one way. That's when speed with ball takes over. But what speed with ball does do is it gives you badges like speed booster, and it also gives you dribble styles. So if you want to get certain dribble style, maybe Magic Johnson or whatever, and I'll show you guys my animations at the end, you need to have speed of ball. So I'm not going to get crazy and go with a no speed of ball build, although they are being kind of popularized right now. We're going to go with a 75 speed of ball, which will be crucial for our speed booster badge, which, matter of fact, let's do our speed and our excel right now so that you guys can see what we're going to have here. We're going to have a silver speed booster, as you can see, and also silver hyperdrive. I go back up to the ball handle. You guys can see we have bronze blow by, bronze killer combos. That doesn't really matter. Bronze, or no, silver unpluckable. This is okay. I really don't get ripped too much, in case you guys were wondering, unless there's a lockdown on me with like a 95 steal or like a 99 steal, then you're probably not going to want to dribble in his face. But it doesn't even matter what build you're on, you're just not going to want to dribble in a lockdown's face. We have gold ankle breaker, which actually triggers a lot while I'm dribbling, and we have silver triple strike. Moving on to our defense, some of the most important stats this year is, of course, ball handle. You kind of need it, although I just said there are people experimenting with low ball handle. I think ball handle, you know, that's just a basic stat you need. 3-point, obviously another one that's very important, and driving dunk. So driving dunk, 3-point, ball handle, and then when it comes to defense, it's steal. I think you could argue steal is the most important attribute in the game, and that's why it's kind of so expensive. Like, to upgrade your steal, it's going to take a lot out of your build, and I think when people post builds with an 85 steal, I think it's pretty troll. Like, I think they're messing around, and I'm just not going to take a build that has an 85 steal too serious, because the gap from an 85 to a 91 steal is insane. Like, you get insane plucks at a 91 steal with gold glove. Trust me, you can get some with an 85 steal, but it is just so worth it to go all the way up to 91. Like, what I'm trying to say to y'all is, people rave about, you know, having a 94 driving. People go crazy about it, right? You get all the contact dunks in the game, posterizer, all that type of stuff. People also talk about how a 92-3 is so good compared to like an 86. And then people also talk about how good 91 steal is. Like, we have all of that on the same build, and I'm not even done upgrading, but that's what I'm saying. Out of the 4 main categories, finishing, shooting, playmaking, and defense, we have pretty much the 4 best attributes at like crazy thresholds. The next thing that I think is very important when it comes to defense is going to be perimeter defense. Now, a lot of people that make this build stop at a 75 perimeter defense, which you guys can see. You get bronze clamps, which honestly isn't even the best of badges here. It's been better in years past. It's okay this year though, but you get bronze clamps, and then challenger down here you get at a 71 perimeter defense. So a lot of people will either go 71 or they'll go 75. But what I did on this build is I managed to get an 82 perimeter defense, which gives you silver challenger, which is maybe the best. Now, I'm not going to say it's the best, because glove is still a badge. That badge is crazy. But challenger is like a top 3 defensive badge, top 5 defensive badge. It is very important, and we're going to get that on silver. And at the same time, I'm still going to get block on this build. A lot of people that go 6'6", maybe low on the wingspan, they don't get block, but I'm going to do it. We're going to get chase down artist on bronze. And of course, in order to get the anchor badge, you have to be 6'7" or taller. And again, I've made builds that are 6'7" to get anchor, but it's just not worth it. Your 3-pointer is not high. You're not able to get a 92, so you're probably gonna have like an 86.3. You're slower. It's not better than a 6'6". It just isn't. Of course, we're gonna want to go down to our stamina and max this out to a 99, which will give us handles for days on silver, 94 feet on silver, and workhorse on silver. And now the build's pretty much done. We're at 98 out of 99 overall, as you guys can see on the top, and there's not much left to do. You guys might think, you know, at this point, maybe we can do pass accuracy. You guys can see it only goes up 2. So if you want to do that, you can do that. What I decided to do with these last few upgrades is I put the mid-range up 1, and I put the free throw up 1. I mean, we could do that at the end, because you guys are probably like, why would I spend it on free throw? You guys will see there's nothing else to spend it on. But mid-range, we're going to put up 1 to a 78, and then I went down to offensive rebound, and I put this up to a 52. Now, if you do take down the mid-range and go with offensive rebound, you guys can see we can't get 60 to get rebound chaser, which is something that would have been nice. Although, let's be honest, if your rebound isn't high, rebound chaser isn't going to do a whole lot for you anyways. So what I decided to do is I did 1 to the mid-range. I got offensive rebound, so we're going to like beat out those guys that have a 25 offensive rebound, or I should say defensive. We're going to have better rebounding than, you know, people with nothing. And then 1 to mid-range and 1 to free throw to finish off the build. This is the best all-around build in the game right here. Never before seen on YouTube. I want to say it once again, it has the 4 best attributes in the game, upgraded crazy high. You guys can see driving dunk 94. Again, everyone wants to have a 94 driving dunk on their build because you get crazy contact dunks, a 92-3, another thing that a lot of people want to get on their build, 86 ball handle, and then 91 steal. Most builds, especially most 6'6s, don't have all of these. They'll have like an 85 steal, and they'll have the rest. Maybe they'll have a 92-3, 94 dunk, but they don't have all four. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe they have a lower three. They only have an 86-3, or their driving dunk is this high. But what I find so crazy about this build is that it has it all. It literally has it all, from finishing to shooting to dribbling to defense. Make sure you guys are subscribed if you guys haven't. Again, over 90% of people that watch me are not subscribed, which I find just insane. But if you guys want to help me out, which would mean a lot, sub up. We're on the road to 800K. Press that red subscribe button and turn on post notifications so you guys don't miss a stream or a video. And I do want to say, because I already know I'm going to see comments about it, pass accuracy is a 56. And I know there's going to be a lot of people watching this video that are unfamiliar with me. This is their first video they've ever seen from me. But trust me, I've won a ton of different, tournaments, a ton of wagers, a ton of big games. I've won pretty much every event on the game. Yes, this is a low pass accuracy, but I have not had any trouble with a 56 pass accuracy. Now, if you're trying to make a build to go run 5v5 competitive pro-am, then yeah, this is probably not the point guard build you want to make. This is probably more of a 2 guard for pro-am competitive 5v5. You know what I'm saying? Or even if you're only gonna play rec, then yeah, maybe tweak the build, get more pass accuracy. But if you're gonna play 2s, 3s, 1s especially, this shit goes crazy on the ones where you don't have to pass at all. This is it, because you're not gonna miss. Again, I shoot like 70% from 3. You're gonna dunk on anybody when you want to, and you get all the dribble moves in the game, and you can get a steal whenever you want because we have gold glove. This shit's OP. If you want pass accuracy, let me know in the comments. What are you lowering? Are you gonna sacrifice the driver dunk, which is crucial? This shit goes crazy. Are you taking down your 3? To me, I'm not taking down anything because pass accuracy is just not worth it. And for example, if you want to take down your steal to an 85, which I think is a big mistake, what can you get the pass accuracy up to? Only to a 68. So it's like you're not throwing steamers anyways. It would just, you'd have to change the build way too much. So again, I highly recommend y'all copy this build down exactly as I made it if you want the best all-around build in the game. Now it's time to see what the build is called and what the shades of this build are. We get Clippers, Bulls, and Kings, and we are going to get World B free Lonzo Ball and De'Aaron Fox. We got that perfect mix of defense, passing, and scoring, of course, with De'Aaron Fox, and the build is called an inside out scorer. Now, if you guys didn't know, if you change the position and make sure you have the same height, weight, and wingspan, you can actually make this build at a shooting guard if you guys wanted to. You get Hershey Hawkins, Dante DiVincenzo, and Colin Sexton for the shades, and it's still the same build name, inside out scorer. And honestly, this build might just be better at a shooting guard. Again, I don't think position really matters at all, but if you're gonna play Pro-Am 5v5 and you want to line up at a better position, then honestly maybe go with shooting guard. But I did point guard, but again, it doesn't matter too much. If you go ahead and make this a small forward build, you guys will see for our shades we have Hawks, Hornets, and Raptors, Lou Hudson, Brandon Miller, OG Anunoby, and it should have the same exact build name, inside out scorer. Now this might be one of the craziest builds in the game because you can also make it as a power forward, and we get shades of J-Dub, Kawhi Leonard, and Al Harrington, which is pretty glitchy. And the build name should be, oh no, it's actually different. You get a floor spacing slasher at power forward. And of course, if I go back, you guys can see that it's exactly the same. I guess the weight is up 5 pounds. It's at 210, but you can get the exact same stats at a power forward. This season just started, but I played 20 games in the city with this build, and I'm shooting about 70% from 3 with a 90 win percentage on this build. And make sure y'all are subbed up because I'm about to do something that a lot of other YouTubers don't be plugging what y'all with, and that is the animations for the build that they're posting. So right here, bang, here are all the dribble moves that I use on this build. Make sure you put these on. Dribble style pro, this goes crazy. And the thing about this is there's no requirements to get it. So I said earlier, you want to have a crazy speed of ball that gets you badges. Maybe some of you guys like Magic Johnson though, which you need a 75 speed of ball or another dribble style, but pro has no requirements. So if you do want to go no speed of ball, that's kind of risky because you're going to lose out on some badges, but you could do that if you wanted to get, maybe more pass accuracy or something else you wanted on the build. Pass styles are also overrated anyway. So if you do make a build that has a crazy high pass accuracy, I don't really like putting on a pass style. T-Mac, SIG size up. You guys can see all of these. Make sure you have on Jamal Murray behind the back. John Wall crossover it's so OP. It's honestly so OP. And then layup style, we have on small. My dunk packages I'll get to in a second. I use Pro 2 dribble pull up on this build. Another really good one is Kobe though. So honestly, Pro 2 or Kobe is probably the ones I'd go with. You guys can see the rest of my SIGs, and then motion style, I don't think it matters too much. I just use base. Here's my jump shot though, because I know a lot of people, you know, want this part, and we are using T-Mac base with Oscar Robertson and Sadiq Bey. As you guys can see, full release speed, and we go 75% Bey. A lot of people put more Oscar, but if you guys have been watching my jump shot videos all year, you know we go with more Sadiq Bey in our jumper. It makes it a little bit faster. And then we have the dunk style creator, which is very important because we're going 94 driving dunk. If you put on a 94 driving dunk, but you don't equip the dunks, what are you doing? What are you doing? So this is the glitch right here, bro. Well, it's not an actual glitch, but you know what I'm saying. It's a really good dunk package. 2-foot moving dunks, go to reverse and get clutch baseline reverses. This shit's OP. This shit goes crazy. You get it at an 80 driving dunk, 60 vertical. We easily get that. And then for the 2-foot contacts, you want to put on pro and elite again. We get crazy contacts in this build. We just do. The elite contacts go crazy. You unlock that at a 94 driving dunk. It's OP. Make sure you put that on. For 1 foot, make sure you put on the, you know, this one, pro contacts. You get that 89. Elite contacts is pretty crazy at a 96, but that's so expensive, and there's no point in, you don't need them. I get crazy dunks as it is with a 94. 96 is just overkill. And then for the 1 foot, make sure you go to reverse and put on baseline reverses off 1. That's another one that's OP. And then I have on double clutch side clutches off 1. You get that at a 92 plus driving dunk. That shit is OP. I'm really putting y'all in the game right now because these dunks don't get blocked. These are the dunks that you're never gonna get blocked. So, or maybe like 1 out of like 150, I don't know, something like that. Standing dunks, again, make sure you put this on because you're not gonna get standing dunks if you don't. It's so simple. 40 standing dunk, that's all you need to get standing dunks. Put this on, make sure it's on, bro. Just make sure. And then for signature dunks, I don't use any of these. I know there's people that like to use, you know, Klay Thompson, or some people use like CJ McCollum, or they're like, well, I heard Anthony. I don't know, bro. These dunks are kind of crazy and you're probably gonna get blocked on them. So if you want to look cool, yeah, you could put them on. If you want to be good and win every game, then I probably wouldn't put them on because you're going to get blocked a lot of the time on those. For alley-oops, we have on pro, and I should probably put on elite. I don't know why I don't have them. I don't really catch lobs in this build because just people don't throw them. But for contacts, we have pro and elite contacts on. Make sure you guys are subscribed if you guys haven't already, and turn on my post notifications. If you guys didn't see, I just posted a 4-hour banger of me going 60-99 on a LeBron James build, no money spent. It's my biggest video ever if you guys want to check it out. For those of you that made it to the end of the video, I'll follow some of y'all back on Twitter or Instagram if y'all want. All you got to do, if you're old enough, is use my code on Underdog Fantasy. Code SOLO on Underdog Fantasy. DM me proof or tweet at me. I got you with a follow back right away. And if you enjoyed this video, click the video pop up on your screen right now because you'll probably like it even more.